interest on drawings. Already you people are familiar with interest on drawings. It will be credited in the P&L appropriation account. Here you are going to learn how to calculate the interest on drawings if time is given. In the previous sum, what happened? The per annum was not given, so we didn't take the time factor into consideration. But if time is given, the date of drawings, when it is withdrawn, if it is given, how to do the sum? Here I have given the formula first. When fixed amount is continuously withdrawn, the amount into rate into average period. Average period is nothing but number of months left after first drawing plus number of months left after last drawing divided by 2. This is a formula for calculating average period. For example, if a partner withdraws fixed amount at the end of every month. End means, say take for example, April to March only the financial year. So end of April means on 30th April if he is going to withdraw. Again next month is what? After May, April, May. So again end of May he will withdraw. Like that if he is going to withdraw, the average period will be number of months left after first drawing. First drawing is made on April 30th. So the number of months left after first drawing will be 11 months. Number of months left after last drawing. When is the last drawing? That is on the 31st March. So after that there is no month in that financial year. So 0 month. Divided by 2 you get 5.5 months. Like this you have to calculate average period for all the other cases. So if monthly drawings is made, the amount into 12 because every month the amount is withdrawn. So for 12 months rate into average period. Average period supposing if it is given beginning of every month if is given means 6.5. You can use this formula to find out this. Middle of every month means 6. End of every month means 5.5. Supposing the drawings is made quarterly. So amount into 4. 4 times he will withdraw. So into rate into average period. Here the average period will be beginning of each quarter means 7.5. Middle of each quarter means 6. End of each quarter means 4.5 months. Then for 6 months period, sometimes here these are all for 12 months. If it is given in the question, for 6 months period ending, if it is given means amount into 6 because only for 6 months he is withdrawing into rate into average period. Here also beginning will be for calculating average period. It is 3.5 months. Middle is 3 months. End is 2.5. You can verify this by using that formula. When the partner withdraw different amount on different time interval, then product method, simple method, there are two methods. In product method, sum of the products into rate into 1 by 12. Sum of the products is nothing but amount into number of months remaining. Lump sum amount is withdrawn. Supposing only total amount is given. In that case, the total amount at 10%. Say here 1 lakh is given. For example, 10% means 1 lakh into 10 by 100 into 6 by 12 you should do. At an average we have done. So only amount is given, percentage is given and the nothing is given when it is withdrawn. You can take it as 6 months. So you calculate like this. This is per annum is given. So we have to consider the time. But here for 1 lakh at 10% is given, not per annum. Per annum is not given. So you need not consider the time factor. So 1 lakh into 10 by 100 that is 10,000. We'll do one problem first on based upon interest on drawings. A partner draws 10,000 per month. Under the partnership deed, interest on drawings is to be charged at 15%. Calculate interest if in drawings are made regularly in the beginning of the month, in the middle of the month and end of the month. In that case, total drawings will be 10,000 into 12. So it is 1,20,000. Rate of interest is 15%. So interest on drawings for the first case in the beginning of every month means average period is calculated using the formula 12 months plus 1 month divided by 2, 6.5. So 1,20,000 into 15 by 100 into 6.5 by 12, you get 9750. Again for the second case, middle of every month. Average period again 11.5 months. Why it is 11.5 months here? Because middle of every month means 15th April he will be withdrawing. So rest of the months will be 11.5. Again the last month in the March, middle of March he will withdraw. So the left out months will be only half month. So you calculate 6 months. So 1,20,000, 15 by 100 into 6 by 12, you get 90,000. Then this is end. The third case is end of every month. So again average period is calculated. 11 months plus 0 month by 2, it's 5.5. So interest on drawings 1,20,000, 15 by 100 into 5.5. So you get 8250. We'll do one more sum. A and B are partners sharing profits equally. A drew regularly 6,000 in the beginning of every month for 6 months ended period. So 6 months ended period, you have to be careful. B drew regularly 6,000 at the end of every month for the 6 months ended period on 30th September 2018. Calculate interest on drawings at 5%. Here I have followed the product method. So in the product method, what happens? You should have date column, amount column, number of months up to 31st March and product. So again 6,000 is withdrawn on 1st April because beginning it's given. So 1st May, 1st June like that. So 6,000. Here for how many months? 1st April to 31st March, 12 months. 1st May to 31st March, 11 months. Like that you should write. Then multiply these two, you will get the product. You get total of 3,42,000. So here the formula will be 3,42,000 into 5 by 100 into 1 by 12 you should do. The same calculation, the same amount you will get if you follow an alternative method using the average period method. If you follow the average period method, the average period will be calculated 12 months because 1st April it is withdrawn. So the number of months left will be 12. The last is 1st September. So from 1st September to 31st March it is 7 months. Again 12 plus 7 by 2 you get 9.5. So if you follow this, this is the total amount withdrawn. So 36,000 into 5 by 100 into 9.5 by 12 you get the same amount. Whichever formula, whichever method you find it easy, you can follow that method. Then like that interest on drawings by B. This is interest on drawings by A and this is interest on drawings by B. Same method is followed. Same calculation I have done. Alternative method also I have done. So you can do this sum without any difficulty. Third sum is calculate interest on drawings of Mr. Siddhant at 10% for the year ended 31st March in each of the following. Here it's given he withdrew 60,000 in the beginning of each quarter here. Here 60,000 at the end of each quarter. Then 90,000 the middle of each quarter. So each quarter because it's given. So 4 times he will withdraw. So 60,000 into 4, 60,000 into 4 and 90,000 into 4. This is the total drawings. Here case 1, case 2, case 3 I have written. Average period as usual using the formula I have calculated. You can verify. 12 plus 3 by 2, 7.5. 9 plus 0 by 2, 4.5. 10.5 plus 1.5 by 2, 6 months. So interest on drawings will be 2,40,000 into 7.5 by 12 into 10 by 100. Here 2,40,000, here 4.5 by 12. Here the 3,60,000, 6 by 12 into 10 by 100. So you get 15,000, 9,000 and 18,000. Here one more sum I have done. Here what happens? This is just like that 6 months ended, that sum only, but the only difference is they started the business on only 1st October. So before 31st March, total number of months available in that financial year is only 6 months. So you have to be careful here. So A drew regularly 4,000 in the beginning of every month for 6 months ended. B drew regularly 4,000 at the end of every month. C drew 4,000 in the middle of every month. Calculate the interest. Again, I have written it is like this. Total drawings 4,000 into 6, 24,000. So in case 1, case 2, case 3, average period, I have taken only 6 months because the business started only on 1st October. So from 1st October to 31st March you have to see. So now again the same formula only here followed. Number of months left after first drawing plus number of months left after last drawing divided by 2. So 6 plus 1 by 2, 3.5. 5 plus 0 by 2, 2.5. 5.5 plus 0.5 by 2, 3 months. So here we have taken 6 months ended. Interest on drawing, same way it's calculated. 24,000 into 5 by 100 into 3.5 by 12. Here 2.5 by 12. Here 3 by 12. So you get 350, 250 and 300. And journal entries for interest on drawings. A capital, B capital to interest on drawings. Then interest on drawings will be transferred to P&L appropriation account. So these two entries will come for interest on drawings. The next one is interest on capital. What are all the provisions relating to interest on capital? First you should know. Then only we can do the sum. When partnership deed does not exist or partnership deed does not provide for interest on capital is not allowed. When partnership deed provides for interest on capital but is silent on whether interest is a charge or appropriation, interest on capital is accounted as appropriation of profit. Interest on capital is allowed only if there is profit. There are three possible situations here. The situation one is if there is loss, no interest on capital is allowed. Situation 2, profit before interest is equal to or more than the interest on capital can be allowed at the agreed rate. But situation 3 is profit before interest is less than the interest. So profit available is less than the interest means you can't give the full amount of interest. So in that case, what happens? Interest on capital will be allowed only to the extent of the profit available in that ratio. In the ratio of the interest on capital, it is allowed. When partnership deed provides for interest on capital as a charge to be allowed whether there are profit or loss. This means interest on capital should be allowed. That's what they say because it's a charge. So whether there is profit or loss, interest on capital should be allowed. In that case, interest on capital is allowed whether the firm has earned profit or loss. Now I have done one sum based upon this concept. X and Y are partners, 2:3 is the ratio, capital is given as 2 lakhs and 1 lakh. Pass a necessary journal entry or entries for distribution of profit or loss ended 31st March. For alternative cases, different cases are given. Case 1 is if partnership deed is silent as to the interest on capital and the profit is given as 20,000. If it is silent means no interest is given. So what you have to do, the entire profit should be distributed. So what happens? P&L account to P&L appropriation. Here the profit is transferred, 20,000 is transferred from P&L account to P&L appropriation account. Then the entire profit is divided among X and Y in the ratio 2:3. So it is P&L appropriation to X capital, Y capital. So in this case, no interest on capital is allowed. Case 2 is if partnership deed provides for interest on capital at 6%, but there is a loss. As already I told you, if there is loss, no interest on capital is given. So here what you have to do, this loss should be distributed among X and Y. No interest is given. So for distributing loss, X capital, Y capital to P&L. So it is distributed in the ratio 2:3. Case 3. If partnership deed provides for interest on capital at 6%, profit available is 21,000. So what you have to do first again, profit is transferred from P&L to P&L appropriation account. Interest on capital is allowed. So interest on capital to X capital, Y capital. For X it is 12,000, for Y it is 6,000. The total comes to 18,000. So we have available profit 21,000, but you need only 18,000. So there is a difference of 3,000. So profit loss appropriation to interest on capital is nothing but this interest on capital is transferred to P&L appropriation account. Then you get the difference of 3,000 profit that is distributed among X and Y in the ratio 2:3. Now case 4 is here also the deed provides interest on capital at 6%, but it is given clearly as a charge. So because it's given charge, you have to give them whether there is profit or loss. So interest on capital to X and Y, interest is given. This interest is transferred to P&L account. Here you have to be careful. I have not written P&L appropriation account because it's a charge, it should come only in P&L account and not in P&L appropriation. So you have to be careful whether it's a charge or appropriation. Appropriation means it can go to P&L appropriation. If it's a charge means it will come only in P&L account. Then profit is, what is this actually? Total profit available is 20,000. Out of that, 18,000 is given for interest on capital. What is the remaining? 2,000. That 2,000 is transferred from P&L account to P&L appropriation account. Then this 2,000 is distributed among X and Y in the ratio 2:3. In case 5, partnership deed provides for interest on capital at 6% again as a charge on profit, and the profit for the year ended is again 2,000 only given. But profit is only 2,000, but interest on capital is 12,000, 6,000. So 18,000 you need, but the profit available is only 2,000. But because it's given as charge, it should be given. So P&L account to interest on capital. Now what happens? Out of that 18,000, this 2,000 profit will go. The remaining 16,000 will be distributed among X and Y, and it's a loss because profit available is only 2,000. So X capital, Y capital to P&L. Again 16,000 is distributed in the ratio 2:3. Then case 6 is, if the partnership deed provides for interest on capital again as a charge here, but profit available is 18,000, it's given. But you need here total amount of interest on capital is only 18,000. So profit available is also 18,000. So there is no profit left after giving interest on capital. So interest on capital to X and Y 18, 12, 6. Then P&L account to interest on capital 18, 18. So in this case what happens? There is no profit left. So I've given a note here for case 6. P&L appropriation account will not be prepared here because interest on capital is a charge on profit. So hence it is debited to P&L account. But after allowing interest on capital, it results in neither profit nor loss. Now one more sum I have done based upon the interest on capital only, but with inadequate profit, how to do it? Just see here. Now A and B have capital of 4 lakhs and 2 lakhs. Interest on capital allowed is 6%. Profit sharing ratio is 2:3. And the net profit before interest is given as 30,000. Show the relevant accounts to allocate the interest on capital. If partnership deed provides for interest on capital, if partnership deed provides for interest on capital as charge. The first case is when partnership deed provides for interest on capital. P&L appropriation account is done. By P&L account net profit given as 30,000 and to interest on capital A 20 and B 10, 30. How it is done here, I'll tell you this. Now I'll tell you the working notes. Interest on capital for A and B calculated like this. 6% of 4 lakhs is 24,000. 6% of 2 lakhs is 12,000. So the total comes to 36,000. But available profit is only 30,000. So here what we are doing, with the available profit, interest is given in this ratio. So what happens? For A, 24,000 divided by this 36,000 into available profit 30,000. So you get 20,000. For B, 12,000 divided by 36,000 into 30. So what we are doing here in this ratio, that is in the ratio 24:12, in that ratio this 30,000 is divided. So 20,000 and 10,000 you get, that 20, 10 only this one. In the P&L appropriation account 20 and 10. So available profit is utilized for giving interest on capital. Now case 2 is, before going to case 2, see the note. Interest on capital is chargeable to the firm to the extent of available profit only, since interest on capital is an appropriation of profit. Now partnership deed provides for interest as a charge means whether there is profit or loss, it should be given. So to interest on capital A, the full amount of 24,000, full amount of 12,000 is given. Profit available is only 30,000. So the difference is loss here because this is more than this side. So you get a loss, so it is distributed in that ratio. It's given in the question, the ratio is 2:3. So in that ratio, it is distributed. See the note here. Interest as a charge means interest on capital to be allowed whether the firm has earned profit or incurred loss. Profit and loss appropriation account should not be prepared here because interest on capital is treated as a charge. So I have opened only P&L account against the profit. Profit being less than the amount of interest on capital, deficit is treated as a loss. So I think you are clear about now interest on drawings calculation, interest on capital, how it is to be treated, how it is shown in the P&L appropriation account.